Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Annette Monk, she's here in the studio. She's one of my favorites. Everyone knows that. And always love having you on the program because you've got great guests. And you're every business owner hero or heroine in your part. And what you're doing is you're literally helping business owners stay focused on growth and on development and getting away from that part that's really kind of a nuisance for most business. Only people interested in HR are people who are in HR business, but you have to have HR in order for your business to grow, and you allow them to focus on their growth, which I think makes you a rock star.
Thank you. And from what you said earlier, a hero. So next time I'm going to wear a cape when I come in here. Thank you very much.
Oh, you look very
that.
nice on a cape. I would like that. That would be great.
But Carlton Staffing does place temp to hire and direct hire personnel in any position in an office or out in a warehouse, including skilled trade. And we have two divisions that specialize. One is Carlton Accounting and Finance, and the other is KTEK Engineering and IT. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited to welcome my guest today, Marcia Faschingbauer. She's the president and CEO of Excargo Services. Thanks for joining us, Marcia.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here, Annette.
Excargo Services. Why don't you start off with your elevator speech?
Well, Excargo Services is a niche in trucking. We transport ocean containers in and out of the Port of Houston to service-sensitive importers and exporters, retailers, wine and spirits, petrochemicals, plastics, and we serve the Gulf Coast region, Texas, and the bordering states.
See, I'm really glad I asked because I thought you had something to do with snails.
I know. See, it's gourmet trucking. It's whatever it takes. That's cargo.
That may be the cargo that you're carrying.
It could be. Usually not, but it could be. We do food and beverage too.
Yeah.
And we're also a great fan of Carlton. I must tell you that Annette has just saved my life by starting a new executive assistant who is superb. Just yesterday.
Wow.
So,
well,
I did not pay her to say that.
I noticed that you had almost had whiplash while I was describing how great that was because your head was going up and down with great pronouncing.
I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Carlton.
So am I. I talk about her all the time.
Awesome.
Her ears, she must be sticking ice in her ears because they got to be burning from just me talking about her all the time. So why don't you start off with your question there, Annette?
Well, you mentioned that you work with a lot of the containers at the port. So,
yes.
But not 100% of your business is at the port, is it? Just what percentage of your business?
I would say about actually 90% of our business is international, and ocean containers working for importers and exporters. And I want to point out that those containers come both from the port and from rail facilities. If you think about it, when the last time you saw a train, most of the cargo on that train was probably intermodal containers, not the old coal train days and the livestock and the automotive stuff. It's really about how long distance transportation happens domestically today as well as internationally. We are linked to LA Long Beach, Seattle, Savannah, and cargoes come to Houston internationally through the rail as well as the port.
Mm-hmm. You know, what's really cool is that when I talked to you about your business yesterday, you had such passion, not just for Excargo, but for the industry.
Yes.
And some of the facts that you told me about how interdependent everything is in your industry and the impact that your industry has on us. Talk to me a little bit about that, because I was amazed, just like the number of jobs.
Depending on who you read, in Texas and in the U.S., it's either 16 or 18 jobs. Every 18 or 16 jobs is connected to trucking. And if you look around your space, wherever you're seated or standing at this moment, most everything came to you by truck. Mm-hmm. And so we really are a critical and essential industry. It's very interdependent on great infrastructure, great highways, our rail and ocean connections, our air connections. And so I love it because it is fun. Every day is a different day, and it's a great business.
Marcia, let me ask you, what year did you get started, your company?
I actually started the business in 1979 when I was a child.
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
Right. Did they let children start businesses like that? That's amazing. Let me ask you as a follow-up, how much has your business changed since 2001? I'm
my gosh, what a great question. Radically. Mm-hmm. There was a day in 2001 we could do whatever our customers needed. Mm-hmm. Now, the security layers, the governmental protection layers for the public, which are good things, and the safety laws are so much more intense. We have to, the drivers have got a scoring system. Did you know that every truck driver in every company has got a grade? It's called the CSA system, and every warning, every ticket we get has a weight and a point system, and so that is published on the internet for the whole world to see, for the shippers to see, the attorneys to see. The decisions are made based on that, and I think most people really don't understand the scrutiny with which we operate. We can no longer just go in and out of the port. The drivers have to have what's called a TWIC card. It's a security card that identifies them as being here legally, being here with a clean criminal record, not only from a security standpoint, but from also just a real estate standpoint. The ports and the railroads really have to manage their sites. We can no longer just come in and go as we need to based on what our customers' needs are. They have to really govern when we can come in and out based on what ships are working, what trains are working. It's very, very backed up. In fact, or connected, like a very tight relay. I was talking to Annette this morning about the fact that the statistics about how tight the supply chain is today are really pretty startling. We're only 3 or 4 days away from having shelves empty of critical supplies and medical supplies and food and things like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's what I love it. I think it's really interesting and cool.
All you preppers out there, it's true. Everything you've worried about is true. Yeah, it's true. It's very short time frames in terms of total volume of supplies available.
Yes.
It's pretty scary, actually.
It actually is, but it also drives home, I think, the opportunity, the jobs available in supply chain and logistics are really exciting and demanding. And I also think that it drives the need, which is part of what I'd like to, my message or call to action would be, is for the public to realize how critical we are. Mm-hmm. You don't just be, oh my God, it's a giant truck. Well, it's really carrying something you need, and there's really a good guy or lady that's driving that truck. And we need to learn how to share our space safely together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I try to churn one of those trucks sometime. I got to always be cognizant of them so you can help to make those turns and that type of thing. I agree with that.
Absolutely. And don't ride next to them. It's physics. You'll lose.
If you can't see them in the mirrir, they can't see you.
Excellent. Most people don't know that. Good job.
Yeah, I got crushed by a truck once, so I'm just joking. So, Annette, next question.
Well, you mentioned how important it is for the general public to support the industry because, of course, the industry is extremely important to us, right?
Correct.
So how can we, what are some ways that the general public, besides just being cognizant that the truck is there and just out of the way, but what are other ways we can help?
Really, anything you influence. If you're involved with your school or your civic club or your government agent, anything that you affect, be tolerant of and be a positive voice for the need for trucks to safely move through your community. We have a huge not in my backyard problem. However, think about how we're buying today. We're buying online. So trucks need to get through your neighborhood safely. And so I guess just understanding that we are there trying to support you. And if you are helping make a decision, if you're in a business where you're acquiring transportation, be aware that it's important that the decisions are made about a safe trucker, it's not, we're in a deregulated environment. Mm-hmm. And so we really need people to realize how important their decision is and to please vet the carriers they're using. And that's a little bit different than a person that's not in the industry, but you could be on your city council or you might know somebody. So I would just ask that you be aware of how important it is. We are expecting significant growth in our market, mm-hmm. and we're going to need to really be thoughtful about having fewer trucks handling more cargo safely.
Yeah, very quickly, your website, and also how many trucks do you have in your fleet?
Well, my website is excargo.com, excargo.com, and our fleet size is about 100 trucks.
There you go. Very good. Annette, as always, Annette Monks, and carltonstaffing.com. Final thoughts, about 30 seconds.
Really, just last thing, what is it that you're really good at that I want people to walk away remembering Excargo?
Well, thank you. If you're an importer or an exporter, we are really great at that last mile, that getting it there on time, getting to know your cargo. We have great people. That's our big differentiator. We also have great technology to make your job easier. So if you're handling a lot of cargo and it's important that it be handled well and precisely and with precision, That's Excargo, the gourmet trucker.
The gourmet trucker. There you go. Very good. Thanks to both of you. I'm Kevin Price. Great segment. Do want to remind you this segment and more will be found over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, and you're listening to The Price of Business.
Hi, I am Ross Powell of Survival401k.com. When society collapses, food and water scarcity becomes real, travel is restricted, and people become violent and mean, then it's too late. Many folks today only have resources last them a few days. This doesn't have to be you. Time is urgent, and Survival 401k is here to help you prepare now. To get your retirement funds, to purchase metals, prepping supplies, and the like, call us today for a free 30-minute consultation by visiting Survival401k.com. Survival is your only option.
You just defended yourself with a gun. The police are called and you're potentially involved in a homicide, but it was self-defense. At this point, you are not in your right mind. No one ever is when they are in fear for their life and defend themselves. Anything you say can and will be used in a court of law, both civilly and criminally. Fortunately, you have selfdefensefund.com. We are the National Association for Legal Gun Defense, and we protect our members nationally in all 50 states, up to $1 million per incident per member. Let us do the talking for you and visit selfdefensefund.com. Any weapon,